Hi guys! So today I'm starting a new series of videos to help people with tips for when they travel to Seoul, to Korea. I have been to other cities, but I'm going to focus in Seoul for now. And here in this presentation, you're going to see a couple of things. I am going to talk about a few things and show you guys a couple more things. This is the first video, so there will be more. And you can keep watching the series. This video came about because a couple of people that I know wanted tips, wanted to ask questions, and not always I am available to answer questions and to show things to people. So that's why I'm starting this. If you go to Korea because of K-pop, if you go to Korea because of ATs, that's my main reason. You can stick around. There will be some tips for TV shows and other things that you guys can go watch or see your favorite K-pop groups or solos in there. If you guys have questions, please leave the questions in the comments and I can get to them and maybe I can make a video about them in the future. So let's talk about how is Korea in general, how to go around, how to walk around, how to get to places. A lot of places people travel to, they use taxis. I prefer not to, so I always explore the public transport. In general, still in Korea, the most important thing to know to be able to go around is to download the KakaoMaps or Naver maps or both. I prefer KakaoMaps. I got used to it, so that's the one I use. But I know a lot of people use Naver Maps as well. Both work well. Google Maps does not work well, okay? In general. Don't ask me why. It is what it is. So to know buses and lots of other type of information, including bus times. For example, if you're in the bus stop, you're waiting for the bus, the maps are going to tell you how long it's going to take for the next bus to come. And usually it also tells you if it's empty or if it's full and so on. So it's quite efficient, but you have to have the right tools. So that's that. Make sure you have Kakao Maps or Naver Maps or both and see which one you prefer. Internet. So here we have two items about internet. Internet in Korea, despite your experience of watching your favorites, is actually quite fast. Almost everywhere, the internet's really good. There is a lot of public internet. There is good 5G internet inside the bus. There is also in the tube, train, metro stations. So in general, in the stations, not if you don't have a Korean SIM, you will have internet, public internet, only in the stations, not when the train is moving. If you do have one, if you bought one at the airport or something like that, they will also work inside the metro, inside the tube. At least that's the experience that I have. And the internet's usually quite fast. Now, internet in the streets and in the shops. In the street, you will have a public internet overall. There are many different ones. There is the Seoul internet, is literally like a public internet in Seoul that will connect in many different places where you are just normal in the street. And there are shops, restaurants that will have internet as well. If you're not sure, if it's not visible what the internet is, usually they will have a password and all of that. You can ask and they'll tell you if they have it or if they don't. So yeah, internet almost everywhere. If you're asking if you're asking yourself if you should or should not buy a SIM at the airport, it really depends how much you're gonna need the internet in your trip. If it's your first time in Seoul, I would suggest you buy the SIM anyway, It's a little bit expensive considering everything, that in Korea a lot of things are quite cheap. This is not very cheap, but if you think you're gonna need internet anyway, you can buy it there and you can use the internet throughout your trip. Now, those internets that you can buy from apps, I have tested too. I did not like them. They did not work well for me, so I wouldn't do that. I would buy really the internet at the airport. That would be the best option in my point of view, in my experience. If you had different experience, let me know in the comments. I'm happy to, learn too. I don't know everything. So I'm just telling you guys what my experience is. Toilets. So toilets in the stations and toilets everywhere. The thing is that in Korea, when you're walking around, you can pretty much go to the toilet almost anywhere. So just normal residential or business buildings, they will also have usually public toilets. You can enter and go to the toilet. Or you can go to Starbucks or something like that. Usually, actually in my experience, a lot of the Starbucks and other big brands and big coffee shops and restaurants, they will not have their own toilets. They will actually have direct you to the toilet of the building near them or the building where they are. So it's very, very common for you to just go to the toilet of a normal building, a residential building, or a business building. Sometimes they will have a code for you to enter the toilet. Sometimes they will have a key. In some restaurants, they will have a key for you to go, but the toilet is in the building and not inside the restaurant a lot of times. I would say even most of the times. So it's normal for people to go to a random building and just use the toilet. Most of them are not on the ground floor, I have to say. At least in my experience, being disabled, having to use the steps, the stairs to go to the toilet, it is what it is. You just need to choose your battles. So I'll show you guys a little bit about how the toilets look like. This is the toilet you can see there in the first picture. It's a toilet in a station. So in the stations, in the metro train stations, in between lines or inside the station, there will be usually toilets. I have never seen a station that doesn't have, but obviously I have not been to every station in Seoul. So every station that I know has a toilet. Sometimes they only have toilets outside. So if you're just going from one line to another, you will not have the option of the toilet. But most of the time, what I can remember, they have a toilet inside as well, if they have more than one line in that station. In any case, they always have toilets outside. At least in my experience, again, that's what I know. Now, in Korea, I don't know where you are from, there are different situations of toilets in different places in the world. That's why I'm saying I don't know where you are from. In certain countries, you do not throw the toilet paper inside the toilet. You just throw away in the bin. In some other countries, you do throw it away inside the toilet. In Korea, you have both cases. There are some toilets, most of them, that you will use the toilet paper and throw it inside the toilet. Some places there will be signs saying that the toilet's not too strong, that the pipes are not too strong. Please don't throw away the toilet paper inside the toilet. There will be signs. A lot of times those signs are just in Korean. It depends where you are. If you're just in a local restaurant, it might be only in Korean. So you might have to pick up your phone and use Papago or something to translate what's written. But that's what it is. Obviously, you can only throw toilet paper in there, nothing else. You will see those signs there as well. Okay, more information about toilets. The first picture there that you can see is an emergency button inside a toilet inside the station. So let's say something bad happens to you inside the toilet, whatever it is, you feel sick or whatever, you can press that button. I have not pressed the button, thank God I never had to, but I have a feeling the people answering that emergency call will only speak Korean. So just be aware of that. And also be careful not to press the button without needing someone to come. It happened to a friend of mine, and it was by mistake, was her bag that got caught, and pressed the button and someone came to see what was happening. In any case, it works, and you can call someone to help if you really need. The other picture in there is for the heated seats and different options in toilets. So at the airport, you will see signs at the door. Some toilets will have this and some will not have. There will be heated seats, and also there will be sprays for you to clean yourself and dryers and so on, all of these in the toilet. So me, for example, I never had this experience apart from going to Korea. I know that in Japan they have this type of things as well. In a lot of other countries they don't. My only experience with this is in Korea, and the buttons are in Korean most of the time. So if you need to know what they do, you have to translate. Unless you speak Korean, then obviously you don't need that. Okay, so the other thing is that a lot of these devices, going back to the other one, they also have a button for you to flush. But some do not have the button to flush. And there you can see two different toilets. The ones that do not have the flush button, sometimes you have to look around. Just be aware that you have to look around to see where to flush. So in the first picture there, you can see I highlighted where to flush. In the other one, I think it's at the airport, and the flush button is at the wall, in the wall. So on the wall there. So there is a big button with blue lights and everything, and sometimes I forget where it is, to be honest, I have to say, because there are so many buttons, so many options. Sometimes you get distracted, and it is what it is. And that's that. Now, in Korea, it's common for you to go to the toilet and for you to have different toilet options. So there are squats toilets, which is this one. It will show like this sign that you can see. It's almost like a slipper or something. So this one specifically will have the toilet only on the floor. I don't know where you're from, but I had never seen that before going to Korea. And even in Korea, I have Korean friends, young people usually also do not use those toilets. So don't feel embarrassed that you have to wait for the next toilet to be available for you to go to the toilet. Because where they have these toilets, they also have normal toilets where you can sit and everything, normal seats. And they usually, it depends where you are. Some of them will be like one side, all these type of toilets, and on the other side of the wall, there will be the other type of toilets. So it depends where you are. Again, just pay attention. And if you open the door, you see that the toilet is different. Just go back to the queue if there is a queue and wait for the next toilet to be available. And usually there will be signs. I have never seen it not having the sign at the door of which type of toilet it is. So just pay attention to this. If you're in a building, like a normal business building or residential building. Sometimes they only have 2 doors, and they will have one that's a toilet that I am used to with a seat, and in the other one, the squat toilet. So then just be aware that this exists. It is what it is. And that's that. That's the video for today. Thank you for watching. If you have questions about toilets, or if you have questions about the internet, or if you have any other types of questions of how to go around Korea, how to get a bus, how to get tube, it's also important to mention that a lot of the signs in Korea, they will be in English. So it's not difficult if you speak English. Of course, if you don't speak English, they also have Japanese and Chinese, but they don't have other languages: French, Portuguese, Spanish. So in the tube stations, in the bus, the signs usually will be translated to English too. Unless you are in a very remote area, everything is gonna be in English too. So that should be easy enough for you to go around. There's a lot of information, and if you're not sure, you can always enter shop and ask for help. Use Papago or use whatever is your preferred translator app, and just talk to them. They will be happy to help. Okay? If you're going to Korea, have a great time. I will upload more videos about other things so you guys can have a great time. Bye. Thanks for watching. Don't forget to like, subscribe, and share so more people can have the tips as well. Thank you.